Are you curious about the types of mixing methods used in cake making? This video is for you. Hi, my name is Amari, author of How to Start Up a Small Baking Business Successfully, founder of Amari Baking Center. In this channel, we share baking tutorials, cake decoration tutorials, and baking for business advice. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to be sharing 4 types of mixing methods that are used when it comes to cake making. So the first type of mixing method used is creaming. Creaming is when you mix a sugar and a fat together until it becomes creamy in texture and white, or at least whitish. So when we say fat, usually we mean butter, but you can also use margarine and then sugar. So you're gonna mix those two, and that aeration causes that mixture to turn whitish and also get very creamy. Now you have to be careful with that because you don't want to overdo it. If you overdo it, your cake ends up being too soft and doesn't hold structure. But then at the same time, you want to do it long enough, because if you don't, you won't get a nice fluffy moist cake. So this mixing method is used a lot for butter and oil cakes, and this gives it a really nice result. Now you want to do this with a whisk or a mixer. The second type of mixing method is whisking. Now this is mainly used for making sponge cakes, and that's when you basically whisk an egg. You either the whole egg or maybe egg white, and then you add on sugar onto there to make a meringue. Most of this times you're gonna use a whisk or a mixer. The third mixing method is folding. Now folding is the way you add dry ingredients into either your cream mixture or your whisk mixture. And most of the time you want to use a rubber spatula or just a spatula. And this is when you add dry ingredients into the mixture gently. You want to do this gently towards one direction. Now since you've aerated your previous mixture, when you're folding your ingredients, you want to make sure you're not losing all that air that you worked hard to get. So that's why you want to do it gently towards one direction. Now with some cakes you can actually use a mixer, just make sure it's on low speed, and once again going towards one direction. Now when it comes to folding, realize that there's various ways of folding. Like there is one called the S method, there's one where you do over and under, that we teach in our classes when we're doing sponge cakes. We also have another one, we call it the number 8, where you just kind of go around and then pass in the middle, and that's used for butter cakes. So just realize that there's different ways of actually folding in ingredients. Now the fourth mixing method is called the melting method. Now this is a variation used especially in butter cakes. Instead of creaming, what you do is you mix a fat in something else. Like for example, it's used in chocolate fudge cake, and this is when you melt butter or margarine and then you melt it in with the chocolate. After that, you add sugar. You want to make sure once you mix up your melted mixture, whether it's the sugar and the butter or sugar, butter, and the chocolate, you get that to room temperature before you add the other ingredients, because if you add eggs in there, you're gonna make scrambled eggs. So you want to let that get back to room temperature, and then you add your other ingredients, including your other dry ingredients. So for the melting method, you want to realize that you're gonna have very moist cakes, but what happens is most of those cakes tend to be dense since not much aeration was done, and the only aeration that's gonna be there is from the raising agent. So realize that they tend to be dense. So fudge cake, blondies, brownies, some fruit cake, and carrot cakes actually use the melting method. So just to recap, the 4 main types of cake mixing methods: creaming, folding, whisking, and melting. So I hope this video has been really helpful to you. Make sure to watch more videos in our playlist, and if you're interested, make sure to sign up for our classes. I'll see you guys next time.